So this is actually a new what if that I wanted to make, and this is based off a movie that I just saw that I'm seeing right now called Horns. If you haven't seen Horns, I don't recommend watching it. It's a good movie. It's on Netflix. It's a really good movie, but I don't recommend watching it if you're under the age of 19. Now, I'm 13, and I stumbled across this movie. I'm actually this close to, not watching it. I just watched, like, the first, I think, the first 8 minutes of it, and it's a pretty good show. I skipped through it, skimmed past, the whole entire gory parts, and just got to the cool, interesting parts. Now, this movie, basically, the plot line is Horns is basically, a movie about this guy. The guy is played by the same guy that played as Harry Potter in the Harry Potter movies. Everybody else is okay. Pretty much, Horns is about about a man that turns back on God because everybody in the town, for the plotline, they thought he killed his girlfriend or his soon to be fiance. Pretty much later on in the story, we find out the guy's about to propose to this girl. But later on in the story, they go to a diner. The girl confesses that he doesn't love him and blah blah blah, and that she loves somebody else, and all that jazz. Pretty much the guy, people think he murdered him, but he didn't. And like pretty much he turns back on God because everybody's not taking it, and his own family isn't even. His own father doesn't even believe him, and his own father doesn't even believe him, and pretty much everybody just hates him in general. But the next morning, after he sleeps with his childhood crush before he married his childhood other crush that he was about to marry, pretty much we find out that he basically has the ability to bring out the worst in people by horns that grow on his head after the night of sleeping with his childhood crush after after the couple of days after his girlfriend died. So basically, he grows horns, and long story short, the horns give him the abilities of Satan, not like fire or becoming a giant or red skin or anything like that. Just horns that only barely anybody can see him because it has some sort of effect that makes people forget about them, like the second you look away from him, like kind of. It's kind of like that feeling you have when you walk into a room and you forget why you're in there. Kind of like that feeling with Deku's horns. So only and good people or people with crosses can't see Deku's horns and can't confess their feelings to Deku. Now Deku can manipulate bad feelings, like if somebody Deku can basically easily make people act on their deepest darkest desires or their deepest darkest secrets, making them do horrible things. Like in one scene in the movie, this guy said he wanted to burn down his bar. Pretty much in this scene, he walked into the bar. Pretty much Deku can start riles. If somebody wanted to interview Deku, Deku could just say, "Well, if you beat the hell out of each other, I'll give you an exclusive interview with me." And everybody just starts beating the crap out of everybody else. And that's basically what happened in the Horns movie. I think in one scene, yeah, I just watched it. Pretty much, it's a really good movie. Don't recommend watching it if you haven't seen any gory movies or movies that have sexual intent. But I don't recommend watching it if you're under the age of 19 or 18, or even if you really want to watch it. I don't recommend you watching it under the age of 15 or 17. But yeah, it's a pretty good movie nonetheless. Now, pretty much horns, he eventually has the power to, I think he gets the power to, basically the horns are indestructible. Like, it's impossible to get them off of his skull. It's like they're infused in his skull. And also, yeah, pretty much, he has the power to mess with people's desires, all that other stuff. Pretty much making people do stuff that they would never say or do in their whole entire life. Making people lie, cheat, even making people, in some cases, make them able to kill somebody else if they really want to, deep down in desire it. So, yeah, the horns are a pretty powerful power. And pretty much, he does, pretty much the plot, I think it said, I haven't finished the movie, but it says something about, he turned his back on God, and pretty much the priest that he went over to, help him, he he brought out the worst of the priests, and the priest said just to hang yourself and do the decent thing. And Deku was, I mean, Horns was confused. Now, basically, I eventually will get over, the movie, playthrough, but let me just finish the movie plot. Pretty much, the guy, pretty much is a theory I have seen later on in the movie, but I haven't finished the movie, saying that he turned his back on God, and pretty much the priest says all demons used to be angels, and all that jazz, and how Satan used to be an angel, but he used to be an angel, but now he's a demon, and he walks among the humans as a snake. Now, Horns does have the ability to, I think, conjure snakes and make them not appear, but come towards him. He can't make snakes appear, but he can make them, he can control them, make them, his pets, and crawl around him, pretty much walk around himself, making like some sort of snake, booby trapped floor for other people. They walked near him, pretty much, yeah. He also gets an anger, but if he touches people, he can see visions of their worst, deepest, darkest desires and secrets. So yeah, so if he touches people, chokes them, handshakes them, he can see a vision of their deepest, darkest desires. So it's a pretty powerful thing. So yeah, that's the end. I am cutting it short. That's the end of the movie explanation. Pretty much, Deku has all those powers. Now, Deku is quirkless, but he's still gonna go through, the whole entire energy thing. Now, Deku's quirkless and he's born relatively the same. But Deku, pretty much falls in love with a girl at his school. AKA, this isn't a main character, I'm just gonna make up a character. Her name's, I don't know, Jezebel. She has blonde hair, and pretty much she's quirkless like Deku. Now she fell in love with Deku, and her and Deku dated when they were like 5 years old, and they loved each other very much. Both of their parents, loved each other, and loved Deku's relationship with her. Pretty much, like, Deku fell in love with her, and one day Deku was about to ask her if she wanted to get married. So he went to her house, and she saw her cheating on him. Deku was furious and pretty much yelled at her and said, "Fuck you," and that I don't want to be with you anymore, and that you should go to hell, and blah blah blah. Later that day, Deku wakes up in his bed with the police officers at his door saying that have you seen, Jezebel. Pretty much later on, they find out that Jezebel. Later on, he finds out that Jezebel was murdered or is dead, and that the last person that the public saw you with Jezebel was you. Deku said, "I wasn't with Jezebel. I left her at the diner." Pretty much, blah blah blah. So Deku does get off the leash, but people are still trying to look for evidence, which is send him to jail. Now, Deku pretty much, um, well, makes a whole entire scene. Deku goes to her, memorial, and his father says blah 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 about his not Deku's father, Jezebel's father says that I love that boy like a man. He just took away my daughter like that. Blah blah blah. Pretty much just making up lies. So Deku shrugs it off and walks off to the memorial where she died, and pretty much it's like crosses and Pope statue, miniature Pope statues and figurines around it, pictures of her, crosses everywhere, and pretty much he gets angry and says, "Man," and pretty much just cusses and kicks over the Pope statues, stomps on the crosses, pretty much pissing all over the memorial, saying that I didn't kill her. Why everybody freaking thinking I'm killing her? And pretty much eventually, another girl at Deku's school that she actually liked Deku was I think I was gonna make Ochaku goes to the same school as Deku. Ochaku says stop, stop, and Deku says no. They think I killed her. I didn't. And pretty much, since Deku's kind of drunk, he kisses her, and Ochaku and Deku go back to their Deku's house. And since Ochaku, Inko has a very Inko has a very good job, so she has to go. She works late sometimes, so pretty much Deku went there alone with Ochaku, You know what they did. You already know what they did. So pretty much, Deku wakes up and he goes to the mirror, feeling like his head is like super hurting. Then he sees these horns popping out the skin of his forehead. These horns growing at the side of his head. Deku's confused and like going crazy, saying, "What the hell just happened? What the hell?" And pretty much just saying like, what's happening?" Now, basically at this point, Deku's turned his back on God, and Deku is cursed with cursed with horns. Now, I don't think horns got immortality, but Deku is gonna have immortality. Not like, Wolverine or Deadpool immortality. I mean, like, Deku can live forever, but he can still be killed by holy water, stuff like that. Holy items Deku can easily be killed by. Other items can still kill him, but not as effective. So yeah, Deku Deku basically goes to the doctor. They say, so you don't have a quirk, but these just appear on your head. And it's pretty much, they're saying that, well, when I look at them, they just go away. Like, it's like, the second I look away from you, it's gone. And when Deku was at the hospital waiting, Deku felt, well, like, bumped to a woman, um, saying that, she hates her daughter and blah, 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 and saying that she's cheated on her husband in front of Deku, pretty much just telling her all of her deepest, darkest, secrets. Deku's saying, I didn't want to hear this woman, and just, leave me alone, blah, blah, blah. Pretty much, she says, I just want to kick my daughter right in her spoiled little face. And at this point, her daughter was yelling like freaking loud as hell in the waiting room. Deku just went over to the front office and said, I finished out my form, can you just get out of here? He says, should I kick that woman's face and say to shut her goddamn daughter up? Deku said, what? Why are you asking me this? And Deku says, man, fine, do whatever you want. And pretty much she sees that this girl is basically, cussing out the woman, and pretty much saying that get your fucking daughter and drag her by the hair and get her the hell out of here, and blah blah blah. Pretty much, fighting. The girl, the woman's about to, fight the girl, but Deku grabs her hand and says, stop, you don't want to do this in front of your daughter. And for a split second, Deku sees a vision of her cheating on her husband, and seeing her daughter hearing everything in the kitchen, seeing this happen, and seeing that her daughter's yelling and screaming while this is happening. And Deku looks over to the daughter, saying that I want to burn my mother in her bed with pretty much lighters, and kill her and burn her until there's nothing left. And pretty much Deku saying, what the hell? And immediately sprints off, confused, into the hospital room after he was let in, and being told by the doctor, blah blah blah, that I don't know what's gonna happen, and that you want them removed. Pretty much, Deku's saying, can you do anything? Pretty much he says, you patients don't give a shit about the doctors, you only care about yourself. And Deku says, man, shut up, doctor, can you saw him off? So, pretty much, the doctor tries to saw him off, but he doesn't do anything, and just, does the nasty with his nurse, when Deku's under anesthesia, because they were going to do anesthesia to cut off Deku's horns. Deku woke up with a knife stuck in the top part of his horn, pulling it out, looking around, and looking at, the doctor doing the nasty with the nurse. Deku says, what the... And pretty much just walks out and says, you're going to, do something. He said, well, I was going to, cut it off, but, like, I got busy. So, yeah, Deku just said, man, whatever, and walks out. Later that day, Deku gets, told by a couple guys, do you want to get interviewed, blah, blah, blah. And Deku, looking around. And Deku is seeing that, he's bringing out the worst in people. Deku wants to, test it out. He says to the report crew to, kill themselves and stop, being little brats. And the first person to kill themselves can get, an exclusive interview with me. So everybody just starts killing themselves, jumping off the roofs, and pretty much beating themselves to death with their own cameras. Deku's confused and actually smiling at this and saying that I can't believe this is happening. Pretty much saying to stop it, but they're still going. Deku just wanted to, stop it, make them, beat themselves up, but not kill themselves. Eventually, they all killed themselves And Deku looked around confused. Deku just ran off, and was, confused at what he just did. Now, Deku has more of an adult personality. Deku isn't, shy. He's still shy, but Deku is more or less more, smart and more direct. So Deku saw this was happening, pretty much, said this is awesome. I can control people. So Deku trains over the 10-month arc, training his powers, figuring out what he can and cannot do. Deku finds out that he can control snakes. Deku also finds out that the horns are indestructible and they can't be pried off by Deku's body, and it's really hard to cut them off. So Deku, seeing this happening, is, actually very excited for this new power. So, Deku basically, what Deku looks like, not like, Deku doesn't look like his picture. Deku looks like his same self, exactly like his same self, but Deku has, goat horns in the front of his forehead. Like, the curved back horns. So, Deku doesn't have any different colored eyes or anything, he just has horns. He literally just has horns. So Deku basically trains and goes to, the entrance exam after the 10-month arc walking. Now, it's up to you guys in the comments which, what was it? Oh, sorry guys, it's up to you in the comments which ship do you want me to do? Because guys, I always ask you what ship do you want to have, because well, it's up to you guys, because your opinion matters. Yeah, your opinion matters in some cases. So yeah, and guys, please, you don't have to be shy. Just ask for any request of any what if that you want, guys. Like literally, any request, I'll do any what if. Literally, I'll do what if Deku was a wine glass. I don't even care. I'll do anything. Any what if Deku, any what if Naruto, any what if but what if it's so wrong to pick up girls in the dungeon? What if I do anything? I even do a what if on a movie if you guys want me to. So yeah, guys, yeah. So Deku goes to the entrance exam, gets a pretty good score on the written exam. He is bumped into Ochaku, and Ochaku says, "Oh, hey Deku, the last night when we did it, I actually really liked it. So pretty much just saying that maybe you want to date." And at this point, the Deku's last girlfriend, she died like about I would say 5 months before the 10-month training arc. So it's already been about 15 months. So Deku saying that, yeah, maybe we can date. And pretty much just shaking it off and walking off from Ochaku. Now, Deku gets a pretty good score in his written exam. And for the physical exam, Professor Mike explains to the whole entire class about, how this is gonna work. And Deku's smirking. Now, it gets started and Deku walks in there and everybody gets ready. So Deku basically is just wearing a jacket. Deku's wearing a All Might jacket and ripped up jeans and his, classic red shoes, and that's pretty much it. And a white shirt underneath the jacket. So they get ready and Deku runs off, running to, robot to robot, jumping around them, using some snakes that were outside of the building to crawl in and help Deku out. And the snakes pretty much crawl inside of the robot, biting its wires, taking out the robot. Deku's running through robot to robot, doing the same thing that he did with the snakes, and eventually coming across a piece of wire that's on the floor. Deku grabs it and pretty much uses it as a spear, spearing the robots then and there. Now, Deku doesn't have any enhanced strength, speed, or agility, or, senses, but Deku is, sees a guy with a fire quirk, burning some robots. Deku runs over to that guy and jumps in front of him and says, what do you want to do?" He pretty much says that I want to be the number one hero and that I hate everybody and All Might sucks balls, and pretty much just saying that he wants to kill his girlfriend and said, "Well, you can do that if you help me out and burn these robots for me." He says, yeah, get on my back. And pretty much for the rest of the match, the guy's burning the robots for Deku. Now, like, they eventually get to the Zero Portal robot, and Deku is about to, piggyback the guy away, but he hears a girl screaming. He hears Ochaku screaming. Deku jumps on the guy and says, stay here, and runs over there. He uses the spear that he was using to pry the rebel off of Ochaku, making Ochaku have no room to get up and limp towards Deku for Deku to pick her up and run her towards, the medical bay or recovery girl. Deku goes to recovery girl, leaves Ochaku there, runs back into there, but he doesn't have enough time, and the match is over. Or the practical exam's over. So everybody is told to go back home. Deku goes back home, gets a note from UA that he got in, and goes to UA. So Deku goes to UA, smirk on his face, and walks in class away. Deku sees Bakugo and just shrugs it off and walks away from Bakugo. Bakugo's having, a death stare at Deku, confused of why Deku, is here and how he got in. And looking at Deku's horns, saying that how the hell did he get those horns? Probably just some sort of prop or something. So Deku sits down and pretty much gets told and gets Chaku comes up behind Deku and says, "Hey," and Deku says, "Oh hey," and pretty much another girl with pink skin goes up to Deku and says, "Hey, so ye, how do you clean your horns?" Deku says, I just use soap, water, and a rag. Just, oh yeah, well, my horns, do you like my horns? Deku says, yeah, pretty much. The girl starts complimenting Deku's, horns and how he's kind of cute, pleading up some, flirting tips, and just pretty much, doing some pickup lines to Deku. Deku says, oh, thank you. And Ochaku says, what are you doing? And she says, I'm obviously flirting with this cute guy. And Deku blushes and says, well, thank you. And Deku asks what her name is. She says, my name is Mineta Asashi. Mineta Asashio? I don't really know. Mineta Ashashi? I don't even know. I'm going to say Mineta. Mineta. I mean, Mineta! Mineta, sorry guys. Sorry guys. Mineta actually is going to be expelled. So yeah, Mineta's going to be replaced with anybody you want to see in Class 1A. So yeah, pretty much Deku is told that her name is Mineta and that, she, maybe wants to see if you got your number. Deku's got to give her his number, but Shaku, like, blushed. Shaku, bursting with rage, saying that I thought we were going to date, and Deku says, I never said we were going to date, just said I would think about it. And pretty much just giving her Mineta his number. Azawa walks in class and explains to the class they're doing quirk assessments, and they get up their lazy bums and walk the hell outside. So you get up, they walk outside, everybody's told, get ready, and you throw. And Deku's not told to throw the ball first. Bakugo's told to throw the ball first, throwing the ball, getting the same score that he got originally. Deku grabs the ball, seeing that it has no, physical ability. As Alice says, I don't really care, kid, just throw it. And Deku says, well, maybe you can throw it for me, huh? And as I was saying, what do you mean? Maybe you can throw it for me. Now, pretty much, when Deku uses, his emotion manipulation, Deku, like, yeah, I understand. Emotions, fear, anger, secrecy, hope, anger, everything. Emotions are very strong weapons. So Deku is just pretty much, eventually, pretty much just illusionizes or, pulls in, what was it? Pulls in, I think, Azawa for throwing the ball for him. Azawa gets, okay throw for average, physically fit, top peak man. But Azawa says, why, how did I even do that? Deku says, thank you, and walks off. So for the long jump, Deku gets about the same score that he got originally, using his normal physical peak strength, because Deku did train physically because he wanted to, be able to fight people. For the, what would you say? For the race, Deku gets about 5th place. For the group test strength, Deku gets about 5th place. And pretty much Deku gets a pretty average score. Mineta gets expelled. And so do you guys in the comments, who do you want to replace Mineta? So guys, everybody gets handed their syllables, syllabus, they get handed home. Deku and everybody else goes back home. Deku goes back home, and pretty much, goes to sleep. So guys, I'm gonna end it off here, guys. I hope you enjoyed this what if, because I've seen other YouTubers do what if Deku was a demon, and this kind of, more or less toned down, or give Deku more of a, um, little exciting story. So I will, guys, I might be introducing, angels or priests or people that try to kill Deku in the future in this what if. So guys, if you want to see a priest or some sort of angel in this what if, go in the comments and say so. So guys, I hope you enjoy this what if. See you guys later. And I said I was going to upload with Deku. With Deku was, what was it? With Deku had the Omnitrix part 7, but guys, I got busy and I got busy. I went on YouTube. I went on Netflix because I was bored. I watched Horns and I had an idea. So yeah, guys. See you guys later. Hope you enjoy this what if. And guys, don't be shy to put any adjustments or ideas for any other what ifs that you guys want me to make. See you guys later. Bye. Have a blessed day. Well, have a devilish day. See you guys later. Bye.